Hey everybody, this is Rob Smith at The Body Project, and I'm here with a very special guest. Ladies, you asked for it. You asked for some eye candy. I have delivered.
Yes.
Very special client. So Dennis came to us because, why don't you tell your story? You were struggling with what?
Well, I was struggling with the age factor, and I'm a tennis coach and enjoy playing very much. And I realized that things were becoming more and more difficult. The shoulder didn't feel as flexible. The elbow was bothering me. I had tennis elbow and golfer's elbow, and the wrist was bothering me from time to time. So anyway, I had all these ailments that were starting to manifest themselves with each passing year, and I decided, hey, I'd like to get these things fixed so I can continue to enjoy tennis and maybe play at a level higher than I'm at right now. So I needed some help with that.
Yeah, so in my book I talk about taking care of yourself so you can enjoy the magic moments in life. And it's so fun when Dennis comes in and we just talk about tennis and just how passionate he is about that game. And you think about if you would have been continuing to travel down that road, you probably wouldn't be able to enjoy that passion of yours at the level you do today. And what was interesting is we were talking about, previous when I was talking in my pyramid about movement quality. And that's one of the discussions Dennis and I were having today, that as a tennis coach, some of these people that he works with, because they're so restricted with their range of motion, he can give them a coaching cue, and because they don't have the extensibility to raise their arm fully through here, they can't be biomechanically sound. So then Dennis has to come up with compensation patterns, right, to kind of do a workaround. And what we were talking about is then what happens is people will adapt neurologically to that suboptimal form instead of doing what Dennis did, and that's fix what was creating the dysfunction. So I'm just going to turn Dennis to the side. When Dennis first came in, he could get his arm about this range of motion. So optimally, we want to actually be able to have this good length or extensibility through the rib cage, through this upper back musculature, and he was all the way here. And so he was very restricted through here. And so this is where we spent a lot of time. So what we did is we did a bunch of soft tissue work through here, and then just show him the range of motion stuff I have you doing. He could not, so when he would do his circles, he'd be way out here. Now you can see he's real tight to the ear. Go ahead. And he just has this really nice fluid range of motion. Very good. So what we noticed is, because he didn't have that, that flexibility or this extensibility through this tissue, then what was happening is he was beating up all of these muscles, which was then leading to elbow stress, and then it was compounding his shoulder stress. So another thing we noticed on Dennis, and we've talked a lot about this, is the breathing patterns. And typically what do we find with people is they're vertical breathers. And when you're a vertical breather, remember that creates tension up here. It creates tension here through the chest musculature, and then even here through the rotator cuff musculature and these muscles that surround the rib cage. So we had to work, on someone's breathing, right? So we worked on that along with these soft tissue techniques. And so what have you noticed in terms of your personal tennis?
Well, number one, the ailments that I started with.
What ailments?
The shoulder issues and the elbow, the tennis and golfer's elbow, and the sore wrist. Those things have improved dramatically, and it's given me the confidence now that even though I'm a year older, year and a half older than when I first started with you, Rob, I I feel like I have that flexibility that I probably haven't felt in maybe 5 or 10 years. And so I'm moving in a very positive direction. I'm not wearing the braces that I used to wear to protect my elbow, and I'm not worried about, you know, the shoulder, and do I have the flexibility to execute the serve and hit a ground stroke without experiencing some pain. So I feel like I've made great strides with your assistance, and I'm excited about what lies ahead, because I know I can get better and better.
Yeah, and I love that, because it just goes to show you, age has nothing to do with this. I mean, we started to uncover some of the dysfunctions that were creating his pain and his lack of mobility, and we started to address those things. And the beautiful thing about this is, because Dennis has such a passion for the game, he wants to not only be able to play it, but play it pain-free and at a high level. And that's exactly what he's doing, which is so fun, because when you have something you're passionate about, then if you're in pain, what do most people do? They start with a brace, and instead of really correcting the dysfunction, they just brace it up. And then what happens is that leads optimal functionality back to his body. And then I think one of the big messages here is, if you've got a passion, don't let it go. Dennis will be playing tennis until he's 100, I guarantee it. And not only will he be playing until he's 100, I didn't even mention this. Dennis is so good at tennis that this summer he's going to be going to Wimbledon. He's not going to be playing there, but he's actually going there. So you got that going for you.
I'll be the great spectator at Wimbledon this year.
Exactly. So I want you to understand that if you've got pain or dysfunction at any level, find someone who can ascertain the reason behind the pain and dysfunction, and go ahead and address that, so you can be at your very best, you can be pain-free, you can perform at a high level, and continue to enjoy your passions. So until we see you tomorrow, go ahead and make it a great day. You certainly deserve it. Be well. Thanks.